Good kill, good kill. Okay, good kill.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're here in the F4 Phantom, and there was a feller by the name of Alright Then, I think was the username, and he suggested that we do Harrier versus F4, kind of like how the Marines, Marines had Phantoms, they had Harriers as well. And a fun little fact about these two is they both don't have guns. Of course, later variants of the F4 did into the merge here, but the Harrier also needs a gun pod in order to have a gun, which is a neat little fact. Into the vertical here with the F4. And we are through the clouds. This is really one of the bigger advantages that the F4 has, is it can almost use the vertical in just about any scenario. But that does result in a possible Fox 2 shot by the Harrier, which I think he actually did take one there, but luckily it missed. I think probably we can do decent against him in the 2 circle, but obviously he'll be able to tighten down turns, and then that'll make it very hard for the F4. If he gets me slow, he'll kill me probably. But I think the vertical is my best bet against him. The Harrier very much struggles pointing its nose up and, staying up there. In the first couple turns it probably can because it's got the speed, but I've kind of lost him as he fell under the clouds here, so I'm just chasing him, hoping that I can get visual. And there he is dropping flares because he thought I would get a Fox 2 shot, which he was right. If I got a lock, it was the perfect Fox 2 shot. But there he is. Getting tone is a whole different story in the F4. And here he is, he's trying to reverse. Of course the Harrier is going to favor the 1 circle, and I'm just going to go straight into the vertical. And just don't let him get nose on to get tone. There he is. And we'll keep him in the vertical. 2 circle fight. Remember, the 2 circle is you chasing his tail, him chasing your tail, his nose chasing your tail. So we got him in a 2 circle, and it does look like I'm somewhat winning here. And it looks like he knows that because he's dropping flares. He sees my nose coming around. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, he's tightening down that turn. You see that? He's tightening it down. He's not letting me slot in. I'm trying to fix the geometry here. Tone, Fox 2. And it missed. Oh, wow. He went above my head. I'm going to go straight into the vertical here because he won't be able to follow that. I was trying to maintain my speed there, and he was getting pretty slow, so that resulted in me getting real close to him real fast, which ended up min-ranging the missile. So that's what happened there. But I'm slotting back onto his 6 here, trying to keep him in that 2 circle turn once again. And he is super slow, so you see him trying to force the 1 circle fight. I'm just not going to take that bait. Just going to keep him in a 2 circle or a vertical fight, whichever one best suits me. But look at this, because he's slow, he has to kind of extend out, and that's allowed me to come around in the 2 circle, and possibly we can get a shot here if we can get tone. Fox 2, and it is tracking. Wow, I'm shocked that hit him. They don't usually track like that, those sidewinders there. That was good. Occasionally the sidewinders come through for you, and the sparrows. Nice to see that one track, and I think the vertical is working well for me, so I'm going to keep that going. Splash 1 Harrier, and we'll avoid the 1 circle fights at all costs, pretty much. It's crazy how useful a gun is. It seems like it's a very overrated piece of equipment, but it's really not. It's so essential. Into the merge here. Once again, I'm going to use the vertical. And like I mentioned, later variants of the Phantom did have the gun. For example, the F-4E variant, the Echo variant, had the internal gun, did not need a gun pod. But just, you know, we've talked about this in so many different videos. It's just such a ridiculous idea. And same with the Harrier. Like, the Harrier should have a gun too. I don't know why it needs a pod. But the Harrier has an excuse. Like, that one specifically is not intended for air-to-air. But, you know, maybe you need a gun to support ground troops. Like, it just seems like a crazy thing to not have. Trying to pull him into the HUD here, he fell out of the sky. He tried to follow me in the vertical and couldn't. Ended up stalling his aircraft out and falling. I imagine he came up here because he thought, like, he knew he would stall, but he was like, I can maybe get a Fox 2 shot. Here we go. Look at him. Not a terrible situation for him if I was to take the bait and come into a one-circle fight with him. But I'm just going to keep myself above him, give myself some sort of altitude advantage. Don't pull too hard on the stick. I don't want to be very slow in the Phantom. And you can see here I've got him back into a two-circle fight where my nose is chasing his tail. And he's ducking under the clouds here. I'll follow that. There he goes over the water. Yeah. And we'll continue to chase that. Keep him in that two-circle fight, nice and patient. He sees he's in trouble. He's flaring. I'm going into the vertical as he tightens down his turn here. Let's see if he manages to figure out what he can do against my vertical pulls. If he can maintain his energy a little bit, he might be able to slot in on my 6 as I go vertical and get off a Fox 2 shot. Because the one thing, the Phantom might be outrating guys, but it's making circles the size of Texas, this thing, so not exactly the most maneuverable two-circle fighter. Got this Harrier currently in the two-circle, and we were in a vertical fight there, and he kind of ditched out. He's doing it, he's back into his horizontal. Not that it really helps. He's still in trouble here as I pull him in. And if I could just get a proper lock on him. There it is. Fox. Why isn't that coming off? Ah. Missile didn't come off. I don't know why. I think I didn't have master arm on. Going into the vertical here. And that's not good. He's got my tail now. Oh, what a huge mistake. I don't know if that Sidewinder would have tracked him, but it would have been better to actually shoot it. It didn't come off because I didn't have master arm on. And that might be why we lose here. He's definitely got a nice shooting position on my 6. And he has a Sidewinder off. It's tracking. I think it's tracking. It does make you wonder how many guys died because they forgot to turn on their master arm or something like that. You know, like there's that scenario with the Gulf of Sidra 1989 incident, the MiG-23 shootdown, where the Rio is yelling at the pilot, select Sidewinder, select Sidewinder. It keeps saying, I don't have tone. And it's like, the reason you don't have tone is because you don't have Sidewinder selected. You know what I mean? He eventually figures that out, gets tone, and gets the kill. And it's just little errors like that, you know, minuscule errors like that, that, you know, can easily turn a fight. Like not turning on your master arm in that situation. He probably still would have flared off my Sidewinder, but we'll never know now. He fired a Fox 2 here that missed. You know, the other thing that comes to mind is Stroke 3, where in Desert Storm, where he was dodging like 6 missiles or whatever, and the whole time he thought he was dropping countermeasures and he wasn't. So he got very lucky to be alive, but he thought he was hitting the countermeasure switch. And I don't really know the story there, but I know he wasn't actually dropping countermeasures. I don't know if he didn't have them selected or like armed or what happened there, but it's just those little errors that turn out to have massive consequences, right? Here he is under the clouds once again. Clouds are a big part of maintaining visual. Here he is dropping flares. It's not a bad decision by him because he knows I'm falling down on top of him, and if I get tone, he's gonna die. I'm not gonna make the mistake of not having master arm selected. I definitely have it this time. I'm going to go into the vertical just to fix the geometry from him tightening down his turns every time. And he's dropping flares, and I'm still right on his 6. And look at this, he's trying to initiate a 1-circle fight. No thank you, I'm going vertical. Gonna roll around. If you have trouble getting visual, just hold your head still and look for movement. There it is right there. I see him. Right in the middle of my screen, right underneath me. Here we go, over the water now and climbing. Possible Fox 2 shot he took there that didn't track. And we got him in a vertical fight now. He's trying hard to point his nose there, which is going to be problematic for him because he's bleeding his energy. You see he had to drop his nose there because he's getting too slow. And he was already in trouble in a vertical fight with an F4, and now he's in even more trouble. Which is why you see him not committing to another vertical climb here. He's going to try to ditch out. And that's fine, I'm going to follow that. He knows he's in trouble. There's the flares. Give me tone. There we go, Fox 2. There it is. And that's tracking. Wow. Oh my, I'm getting great performance out of these Sidewinders today. I swear to God, usually it's not that good. Those are giving me like 9x performance. And I saw the shoot, so that's Splash 1 Harrier there. And great performance by the F4. Once again, if you fly to the strengths of your aircraft, you don't make any major errors, theoretically you should win.